Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Tom Marshall podcast. Today, we're not going to look at a film. Today, we're going to look at a new TV series that has come out called SAS Rogue Heroes. Season 2 has just recently come out. Season 1 came out last year, but it is a very, very good show. So let's get into it. Play the clip. So, SAS Rogue Heroes is created by Stephen Knight, who you may know has been doing Peaky Blinders for the past few years, and now he's transitioned into this new show called SAS Rogue Heroes. On a personal note, he's also done a film called Locke with Tom Hardy, which is one of my favourites of his, so definitely check out that film as well. It's really good. It's got a good cast. It stars Jack O'Connor, Connor Swindles, Alfie Allen, Sophia Botella, and Dominic West. So pretty decent cast all in all, and so we're off to a good start. The TV show, season 1, follows the beginnings of the SAS and how it was originally a fictitious regiment that had been dreamed up by Colonel Dudley Wrangle Clark, effectively the British intelligence around that sort of time, and spreading the gospel of the battle-hardened wild dogs of the SAS across northern Africa. It was basically a piece of propaganda and fear-mongering across the German and Nazi soldiers around Africa around that sort of time. It wasn't until David Sterling, Paddy Mayne, and Jock Lewis came together, had a meeting about how to change the tide of war in Northern Africa, as the Allied forces had basically been at a standstill. Rumour has it at the meeting, Sterling, or I think Lewis, threw a grenade onto a pool table, and the people that were playing on it previously were so shocked at this, they just ran off. Turns out it was a dummy grenade, but it did the trick. The plan was to basically parachute behind enemy lines in northern Africa into the desert, where no one ever goes because of the harsh environments and the intense heat that part of the desert provided. Their plan was to basically destroy the German Air Force before the planes even took off from the airfields, basically scrounging everything that they could, doing anything they can to get the equipment that they basically needed to carry out their missions, living on pretty much what they had. Season 2 basically follows the exploits of the SAS during the Invasion of Europe campaign, starting in Sicily and working their way through the rest of Europe. This time they were basically more prepared, they had a bit more training, and the originals had been battle hardened and tested by the deserts in Africa. But unfortunately, they had to change their name from the SAS to the SRS, Special Raiding Service, as their missions now involved them being dropped in and out before anyone could even know that they were there. However, they attack a small town in Sicily, making them vulnerable to a counterattack by a German Panzer tank division, already waiting to come in and basically wipe them out. The SAS, which they continue to call themselves, completely disregarding the SRS newly assigned name, and stand firm in defending this little town. And that's like the basic sort of premise for the second series, and it was really, really good. This TV series is rock and roll to the 10th degree. It has AC/DC as their main soundtrack. I mean, what is not to like there? It's a great mix of entertainment and also a little bit of education. They do emphasize in the second season that it's basically not, I say again, not a history lesson. All right. Um, I knew of the SAS from from like the news. There've been various films about them, notably 6 Days, which stars Jamie Bell and Mark Strong. It's on Netflix. That's a really good one. That's about the Iranian embassy siege in the 1980s. Also, in England, we got SAS Who Dares Wins. So I kind of knew of them. But what I didn't know was the origins of the regiment itself, which was great to find out how mad they were to begin with and still are. These guys are absolute nutters. You have to be to do what they have to do. However, I do think that season 3 does have to change a little bit into something different. The whole Mad Dog Soldier routine is getting a little bit old, and you have to have your characters grow in such a way. Otherwise, it gets just a little bit stale after a while, and you sort of lose interest. It becomes a bit samey, and it's like, come on, let's do something different here. Let's progress these characters a bit more. You do see the progressions throughout the show in terms of um, various different soldiers getting promoted and ranking up or ranking down, depending on how like they've performed during like all the different missions and stuff. But otherwise, yeah, towards the end there, it's like, come on, let's let's do something a bit different. Across the board, the performances were really, really good. So much so, I actually thought Jack O'Connor was Irish. He does such a good accent. Irish, Northern Irish, not sure. But I actually thought that was where he was from until I saw him do an interview. I think it was for the British Film Institute, BFI. And he spoke in like a East End sort of English type of an accent. And I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. Uh, but yeah, he's really, really good. And yeah, everyone else is really good in this as well. Um, it's a cross between sort of Kelly's Heroes, The Dirty Dozen, Inglorious Bastards, all sort of rolled into one. A bunch of misfit soldiers with no rules and no regulations, being led by nutcases, being dropped behind enemy lines. But like I said, season 3, if they ever do a season 3, I'd imagine they'd have to do something a little bit different, or make quite a drastic change with the characters in the next season. They do start off in Sicily, and I do believe that the SAS took a big part in the invasion of Normandy and D-Day. So I suspect if they do a season 3, I suspect that's where they're going to start from. They're going to do the whole big D-Day Normandy landings, and the part that the SAS took in that. It's definitely well worth your watch. In England, it's on BBC iPlayer. I'm not sure where it is across the world. Maybe in America, it's on BBC World or wherever it is. But definitely should check it out. Definitely worth your while. It's an easy watch. Lots of action, excitement, and sort of love story between Connor Swindle's character and Sophia Boutell's character, who plays a French spy, and they do work together quite well. So yeah, so definitely check it out. And that's basically it. That's my 2 cents on this show. It's relatively new, like I said, so hopefully we'll see more of it to come. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this channel. It means a great deal. I'm going to be doing way more videos in the next coming months, hopefully daily uploading. So look out for a few more videos coming soon. So thank you very much for watching. If you have the same opinion about the show, please make a comment in the comment section, and I shall see you in the next video.